anyway, there are opposing points of view, and that's a good thing, but they're not respected as much as they used to be. And one of the reasons is people believe what they want to believe, and we'll get into that in a moment. But there's another big reason why this division is taking place, and that is delusion. Many of us in America live in a delusional bubble, not in the real world. We don't want the real world. We don't want to go anywhere near the real world. We want to take narcotics. We want to drink ourselves into a stupor. We want to believe stuff that's insane, and we seek it out. We don't want to deal with reality. That is a very difficult situation to overcome, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So, again, people believe what they want to believe, and you know them. I know them. They're in my life, not close to me. I can't deal with delusional people, but on a periphery. And you could go in with 10 facts, and they won't even listen. No. You know them. There's nothing you can do. And maybe you can get them hypnotized, but there's nothing you can do. So I've come to the point in my life where I don't even try. I go, okay, you want to believe that? You go believe it. It's not true, but I did all I can do. Also, there are a lot of people who just don't care about what's true. It doesn't matter to them. Now, I was raised in a home where there was a right and a wrong. And then I went to Catholic school where there was a right and a wrong. I was usually in the wrong, so I experienced that very vividly. But now we don't live in that world, right and wrong, anymore. Traditional homes have it, but secular homes don't. It's like, oh, well, whatever you want to do is fine. All right. Now, once you get into that world, then if you act out, you can hurt people. And I'm going to give you a very vivid example of this. So yesterday, Robert Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, testified in front of the House Appropriations Committee. There are a bunch of radical leftists in the audience, and they don't like Kennedy, they don't like America, they don't like anybody. One of these radical Americans, a guy named Ben Cohen, that's Ben and Jerry's. I'm sure if you follow politics, you know he's a far left loon. Okay, here's what happened. Go.
The witness will suspend. The committee will come to order. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room. Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be tolerated.
All right. Congress pays for bombs, kill kids in Gaza. Okay. That's anarchy. Those people ever got control, there'd be massive violence. They'd kill you if you disagree with them. And my opinion, but I've seen it throughout history. You're irrational. You live in that far, and you could be on the right, too. You could be Adolf. Hey, he's great. We love the Nazis. Holocaust didn't happen. Same thing. No difference. But we see it played out more in America on the far left because the media accepts the far left where it doesn't accept the far right or even conservative Americans. Okay, so later on, Mr. Cohen appears on News Nation with Cuomo. Go.
It didn't really have anything to do with Bobby Kennedy. What it had to do with is that Congress has been cutting money for Medicaid, the health care for poor kids, and they're using the money they save doing that to bomb other poor kids in Gaza. And now, there's this, they're halting all the food aid that's going in, so they're starving the people of Gaza.
That's just insane. All right, so run down the facts. And I'm only doing this as an intellectual exercise. I don't care what Ben Cohen says. I would never buy any Ben and Jerry's, even though they don't own it anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. Okay? So there have been no cuts in Medicaid. because that bill hasn't passed. They want to reform the waste because it's totally out of control in that program, but there's no cuts, okay? There's no cuts for health care for poor kids. In fact, entitlement spending is at an all-time high, all right? American money is not being diverted from our entitlement programs to Israel so they can bomb poor kids. Okay, that's about as fallacious a statement as you could possibly have. Israel is defending itself against terror attacks from Hamas. Hamas lives in civilian areas in Gaza, and children have gotten hurt in the crossfire. Every war that's happened. I'm not justifying anything. I'm just telling you what the facts are, okay? So Israel's supposed to say, oh, yeah, come on. You attack our people, you kill our children. We're not going to do anything because you're hiding behind your children. And that's what Hamas is doing. We've always done. Okay, so Cohen is delusional. Doesn't care. And then he raises a very interesting question. The United States, he says, is helping the bomb, or actually bombing, killing the kids. Here are the facts. You will remember, and this story died fast, but I've resurrected it today. You'll remember President Biden allocating millions of dollars, $230 million to be exact, to build a platform in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Gaza to get food to the hungry people there. Remember that story, okay? It went nowhere. They built the pier. It operated for 20 days and then devolved into chaos. 62 U.S. servicemen were hurt because of terrorist activity over there. 62. Okay? They couldn't get the food to the Gazan because the terrorists, Hamas, stole it. As soon as it got from the platform built into the sea, into the mainland, the guys with the machine guns came out and took it all. Ben, know that? Hey, Ben, you know that? That's why you can't get any food in there, because Hamas steals it. That's why they're starving. Now, the United States, Biden, tried to do something, and of course, it was a fiasco because everything under Biden pretty much was a fiasco. The goal was to feed 500,000 people each month for 3 months. They didn't get any food in there to speak of. All right? And then it took 1,000 U.S. forces to evacuate the people who were in there trying to feed the Gazans because they would have been murdered. That's what happened. No reportage on it. Biden, did Biden say anything about it? No. So the intent was noble to get food to starving people, but Biden couldn't carry it out. He couldn't carry out anything. Nothing. And that's what happened. So when I hear this irrational stuff, and I said I'm giving you one very clear example tonight, it drives me crazy because this is surging in America. This kind of crazy stuff. This is what's going on college campuses. Oh, they're starving. The U.S. government's bombing the poor kids. They're starving them. That's what's going on at Harvard and Columbia. And if a guy like me walks in with a sheet of facts, then they're going to hate me. And they won't believe anything. And that's a memo.